Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through a topic that, let's be honest, impacts pretty much every single one of us, whether we actively realize it or not. Today, we're taking a really honest look at the heavy psychological toll of constantly curating our lives online. I mean, we spend hours filtering, editing, and cherry-picking the absolute perfect moments to present to the world. But at what cost? We're going to unpack the architecture of this modern digital illusion, and more importantly, we're going to look to ancient philosophy for the cure.
Okay, let's dive into this tough reality. You are no longer living your life, you are curating it. Just think about your own digital habits for a second. We've all crafted this specific version of ourselves for the world. It's a highlight reel, right? Think about the pure irony of taking 15 different candid photos just to capture that effortless look. We post things that make our daily routines look thrilling, we share opinions engineered to sound exceptionally insightful, and we present a version of ourselves that is, if we're being completely honest, just slightly better than the real thing. And the kicker? We do this every single day. Every story, every post, every carefully framed snapshot. It's an act. It's a performance.
Which brings us to Section 1, the endless digital performance, the stage that never goes dark.
To really grasp how much things have shifted, let's look back at ancient Greece. Back then, theater was literally the art of the mask. Actors hid behind these physical papier-mâché faces to play gods or heroes. But here's the absolute key difference. They knew the mask was temporary. They knew the character they were playing wasn't who they actually were. When the curtain fell, they took the mask off and went home. Now look at the digital age. Today, the curtain literally never falls. The stage is always brightly lit. And because our audience is made up of thousands of strangers on our phones, we're always performing. We've actually started to confuse the character we play online with the reality of who we are.
And keeping up this permanent performance, well, it leads straight into what we call the drift to incoherence. Modern culture essentially pushes us toward this fragmentation. We've been totally conditioned to have one highly specific version of ourselves for work, a slightly different face for our family, another one for our friends, and then a meticulously curated mask for social media. We're constantly switching faces depending on what app we're opening or what room we're walking into. And the tragic result of all this context switching, every time we change masks, we drift a little further from our true center. Eventually, if we aren't careful, we completely forget which face is the real one.
That brings us to Section 2, when masks become prisons, the danger of the forgotten mask.
So, the crucial point is this. The digital mask isn't just some harmless little Instagram filter. It actually becomes a self-imposed psychological prison. Why? Because the absolute most dangerous mask isn't the one we consciously put on. The real danger is the mask we forget we're wearing. When we start genuinely believing that our digital image is our real identity, our self-esteem becomes 100% dependent on external validation. We literally stop living for ourselves and start living strictly for the audience. And man, does that put us on an intense, emotional roller coaster. When you completely outsource your self-worth to the internet, a like becomes a literal pat on the back. A criticism becomes a stab in the heart. Just absorb that for a second. We are voluntarily handing over the keys to our emotional well-being to a crowd of people who, frankly, don't even know who we really are. It's a position of extreme vulnerability. You're letting the approval of strangers become the absolute measure of your worth. And honestly, that is just an incredibly fragile foundation to build your life on.
Let's shift gears into Section 3, wisdom from the Stoics, ancient truth for the modern digital illusion.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stinging clarity of Seneca's words. There is nothing more honorable than a life that is the same in public as in private. For the Stoics, coherence between your interior life and your exterior life wasn't just some nice-to-have luxury, it was the very foundation of virtue. Being yourself is practically a duty. If you're one person sitting in your living room in a completely different, highly edited persona on your timeline, you're living a fractured life. Seneca is challenging us directly here. Unify who you are.
Building right on that, we have Epictetus, who reminds us what disturbs men is not things but the judgments they form about things. Think about this in the context of your push notifications. The opinion of a stranger on the internet has absolutely zero power over you, unless you actively choose to hand them that power. External approval is a total mirage. We let a negative comment ruin our entire day, not because the comment itself has any real power, but because of the massive weight and judgment we decide to assign to it.
Which leads us to this deeply liberating truth. Authenticity does not need applause. A true Stoic doesn't wake up desperately seeking to be liked by the masses. Instead, they seek to be worthy of being liked. And to do that, you absolutely must be authentic. You simply cannot build a solid, meaningful life on a foundation of hypocrisy or on the mask that others want to see. The second you stop chasing the applause, you immediately strip the audience of their power over your happiness.
And then, of course, we have the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Accept the things you cannot change and have the courage to change the things you can. So how exactly does this apply to our digital lives? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You cannot change what others think of you. You certainly can't change the social media algorithms that constantly reward outrage and perfection. But you can entirely change your relationship with your own image. You can choose right now, today, not to perform.
Which brings us to our final section, the courage to be real. Reclaiming your authenticity.
Before we can reclaim our authenticity, we really need to know what it looks like today. And let me be super clear. It doesn't mean you have to overshare your darkest moments or broadcast your deepest failures to the world. It simply means congruence. It means not pretending to be something you're not. So I'm going to challenge you to ask yourself a very specific question. Does this represent who I really am or who I want people to think I am? This is the ultimate litmus test. Ask yourself this before every single post, every comment, every upload. Because the honest answer to that question marks the stark difference between truly living your life and merely acting in a play. It's the exact boundary line between freedom and prison.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a practical Stoic blueprint for digital freedom. Step 1. Accept what you cannot change. Let go of trying to control everyone else's opinions. Step 2. Stop performing for external applause. Remember, your worth is intrinsic, it's not metric-based. Step 3. Show genuine parts of yourself. Accept that you aren't perfect and realize that you absolutely do not have to appear perfect to be deeply valued.
Because when you actually follow those steps, you unlock what we call the beautiful paradox. When you stop performing, people actually connect with you more. It's amazing, isn't it? The digital mask promises that you'll be accepted if you just show the right, highly polished version of yourself. But human beings aren't actually attracted to a perfectly curated fiction. We crave reality. What truly draws us in is authenticity, the genuine, flawed, totally real face behind the mask. We return to Seneca for one final thought. A question that echoes through the centuries and lands right in the palm of your hand today. Why do you deceive yourself, pretending to be what you are not? That question has literally never been more relevant than it is right at this exact moment. Answering it honestly is the very first step toward reclaiming your mental freedom from that endless scroll.
Sure, the digital mask might offer you a temporary refuge, a safe little place to hide behind a filter. But remember, that refuge is actually a prison. And the beautiful truth here is that you are the one holding the key. You always have been. The question isn't whether you're wearing a mask. Modern society almost guarantees that you are. The real question, the only one that truly matters going forward, is this: do you have the courage to take it off?